Let's talk about the discovery call. You know, that one conversation where a deal is either won or, well, completely lost. If you get it right, you're building a partnership that lasts. But if you get it wrong, the whole thing could just crumble before your eyes. So, in this explainer, we're going to give you the blueprint, the real playbook for mastering the art of the powerful sales question.
So here's the best way to think about a discovery call, and it all comes down to this idea right here. This isn't an interrogation, okay? It's more like a construction project. And the answers you get, those are the steel beams, the absolute framework for the entire deal. If that framework is strong, everything else you build on top of it is solid. But if it's weak, well, you can probably guess what happens.
And this really just lays out the stakes perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have that weak framework, the one built on vague, kind of lazy questions. That's a deal that's just destined to crash and burn. But on the other side, a strong framework. That creates a rock-solid foundation. And that leads to not just a sale, but a successful, long-term relationship. So the takeaway is simple. The quality of your questions literally determines the quality of your outcome.
Think about it. Any great construction project starts way before anyone breaks ground, right? It starts with a detailed blueprint. And it's the exact same thing for a discovery call. The prep work you do beforehand is what really sets you up for success.
Okay, so this is your pre-flight checklist. First, do your homework. Research your prospect so you know their world. Then, draft a flexible script, and I mean flexible, along with a list of your most powerful questions. You've got to set a clear agenda to show them you respect their time. And finally, think about what they might push back on. Prepare for those objections. This isn't about being robotic. It's about being so prepared that you can handle anything that comes your way.
All right, our blueprint is in hand. Now it's time for execution. This is where we start actually building the conversation, laying that foundation piece by piece, question by powerful question.
Pro tip, right out of the gate, start your call with this question. It seems so simple, but after you do your quick intro, just ask them this. You will be absolutely amazed at how often they will just hand you their number one priority in the first 90 seconds. This is pure gold. Use it.
Now, as you're building this conversation, you're going to need 3 core tools in your toolkit. First, broad, open-ended questions. These just get them talking. Then, specific open-ended questions. These are fantastic for uncovering those hidden needs, the ones they might not even see themselves. And finally, closed-ended questions. These are your diagnostic tools for pinpointing specific issues. Let's look at a few of these in action. This is such a fantastic opener. Instead of you guessing what's important to them, you're basically asking them to hand you the agenda on a silver platter. It guarantees that you focus on exactly what matters to them, and it makes them feel like their time and yours is truly valued.
So once you're aligned on their goals, this next question is all about building your credibility. It does 2 things just brilliantly. First, it shows you're an expert. You know their industry, you know the common pain points. And second, it gets them thinking about challenges they might have overlooked. All of a sudden, you're not just a salesperson, you're a strategic partner.
And once you've framed yourself as that partner, you need to understand their history. So this question is absolutely crucial for understanding what they've been through with this problem. You have got to know what they've already tried. Come on, the last thing you ever want to do is walk in and suggest a solution that has already failed for them. After you know what they've done, you need to know the reason. And here it is. The simplest and honestly maybe the most powerful question of them all. Why? Seriously, don't be afraid to ask it multiple times. Each time you ask, you're digging a layer deeper. You're moving past the symptoms to get to the real underlying cause of the problem. And that's where the opportunity really is. Okay, so you've laid the foundation, you've built the frame, now it's time for the end game. This is all about making sure the project doesn't stall out. It's about creating a crystal clear path forward and ensuring this great conversation actually leads to concrete action.
Now, this might sound a little counterintuitive, but a huge part of being great at sales is knowing when to walk away. You have to maximize your, what we call, return on sales effort. Asking about roadblocks, timelines, and budget, it isn't just about qualifying them. It's also about disqualifying prospects that just aren't a good fit so you don't waste your most precious resource, your time.
So once you've confirmed this is a real opportunity, you need to map out the road ahead. Who else is involved here? Are there official criteria for choosing a vendor? What does the purchasing process actually look like? These questions just eliminate all the ambiguity and create a clear, agreed-upon plan for what happens next. And you always end with a specific date for your follow-up.
So there you have it. That's our blueprint for building a truly powerful discovery call.
See, it's not just about what you say, it's about what you ask. Which brings us to one last thought. Looking at everything we've just covered, what is the one question you're going to take with you to completely change the dynamic of your very next call?